American women didn't want me, so I was forced to go overseas because I couldn't even get girls in my own country. Is that true? Is that not true? That's the topic of today's video, and the short answer is, yeah, it kind of is true, but it has some nuances. So let me begin. I am a 36-year-old man. I came up in the game, meaning like when I first decided to like, oh, I'm gonna go like start flirting with women, and like it's that time. It's time for me as a man to go out and like seek attention and relationships with women. Was probably around 2006, 7, 8, 9. That's when I started going out, when I got into college, started going to frat parties and stuff like that. And dating in America was always bad. The average weight of the average American woman, this is a Googleable fact, is 170 pounds currently. And when I started dating, it wasn't much different. In contrast, if you look at the average weight of a woman from Brazil, Colombia, Thailand, you're looking at a range of anywhere closer to around 127 to 135 pounds. Significantly more fit and attractive than the average American woman. So it was never great. Was it great maybe in the 1920s? The roaring 20s, whatever they call it, the prohibition days, wild, speakeasies and knock knock, slip a 20 under the door and party there. Maybe it was. Maybe America had a golden age for dating. I don't know. But even as mediocre as it was in 2007, 2008, when I really started, going out of my house to pursue women in America, before I ever left the country, before I had a passport, it was always kind of mediocre. But
hey guys, back to the video in just a few seconds, but first, I had to share these amazing results that I've been having on dating apps using 100% fake AI-generated photos. Every single girl that you're seeing on screen right now, I matched with on Bumble using, yes, fake AI photos, and here are the photos on the screen right now that I used. And before you rush to the comments and want to say something dumb like, oh, I could kind of tell that they were fake, I know that you can't tell that they're fake because I'm lying to you. I'm showing you a mixture of both real photos and AI photos, and I bet you can't tell the difference of which is which. And I've done well on the dating apps even before with real photos, but ever since I put AI photos on there into the mix, the results have been absolutely insane, as you were seeing. And not only can I now be super lazy, I don't have to do photo shoots anymore in real life, but I can now get access to backdrops I never could before, such as being on a private jet or some insane looking baller Airbnb. And no, I know what you're thinking. Both the dating app platforms and Instagram cannot tell that these are AI and they will not get you banned. So if you want some of these for yourself, just check out the link in the video description. It's also in the first pinned comment. It's the same link, and we will get back to the regular video now.
It was like possible, and it was a very known thing. This was a big thing in pop culture. You would see movies about this. I often reference a movie called Sex Drive. It's just some teeny bopper whatever movie. It's not a great movie or anything. I think it's actually an okay movie. Maybe I'll get on BitTorrent and download that movie. But they had a character, and this was kind of an archetype of a character. Movies are all very formulaic, and they recycle the same, like, Stifler from American Pie. Every teen movie had like a Stifler. Steve Stifler from American Pie, the outgoing, brash, kind of bully jock guy who gets all the girls. But there was another archetype of a guy that was popular in movies around this time, and he was the guy that was traditionally not very good looking, but based on a big personality, based on charisma, he still got a lot of girls because he was the loudest, funniest, most interesting, most entertaining, most charismatic guy in the room, and he got a lot of women that way. And he'd always be like telling the protagonist, like the main character, like, oh, it's easy, man, like watch me do it. He'd kind of be like an asshole and like push the girls away, which would make them chase more. He had no money, he had no height, he had no looks, but he had a lot of game, right? Well, sadly, that's really not much of a thing anymore in America. I mean, the glory days, like I said, 2008, 2009, you saw a lot of guys with big personalities that didn't have big muscles or big wallets, still kind of cleaning up. And this is before any type of online dating. This is before Instagram came out. We had a little bit of Facebook and, pretty much no dating apps. It was kind of a joke, like, only like old people and like desperate, unattractive people were on like eHarmony and Match.com. But this is before like true, online dating for young, sexy people. And things weren't that bad. Around 2014, 2015, Trump, hate him or love him, we live in two I would say we live in a post-Trump era and a post-pandemic era where things will never be the same ever again. Things will never be the same after Donald Trump's presidential campaign and, actually winning the presidency, and things will never be the same after the pandemic, and both affected dating a lot. I don't think it's a coincidence that right around the rise of Trump, even just, him campaigning and stuff, we saw a correlated rise in feminism. And feminism at its core is a movement that teaches a generalized hatred towards men. It teaches women to become more masculine, more hardened, less feminine, less traditional, less submissive, and to also have these comically high standards. Hence why I can't really get American women. I mean, I kind of can. We're going to address this question and go deeper into it more and talk about how it compares to overseas. But, spoiler alert, yes, American women, they kind of, for the most part, don't really want me. But here's the thing. I don't want them. Let's get into it. Let's elaborate. So, in these times, I would say, post certainly around 2018, I noticed is when it was like night and day. Now, my pedigree, I came up in the game with RSD Tyler, aka Owen Cook, a good friend of mine, the most popular and one of the most successful dating coaches in terms of results and certainly financially and fame-wise of all time. Also a guy named Todd V Dating, Todd Valentine, another big YouTuber, another good friend of mine. I went out with Owen a lot in Los Angeles. I went out like 7 days a week in Vegas with Todd Valentine. Both of these guys would vouch for my resume. They would say Casey is a truly elite player. Casey got instructor level results. He was pulling girls along the side of us. I actually did teach on some boot camps, the original RSD, and I'm friends with a lot of other dating coaches. And ask around about me. Austin Summers, Dave Perota, all the RSD instructors. I can go on forever, but ask to hear about resume. I got really, really good results in America. But here's the problem. It's kind of like a mutual not wanting of each other. Let's take a girl like Britney Spears, for example. I'm going to get a very extreme example. Britney Spears. Miss Britney Spears. I could not get Miss Britney Spears. Miss Britney Spears would probably want to date another celebrity that's on her level financially. She'd probably want like a quote unquote, like a hunk, a guy built like a Chippendales dancer. And she would probably not be looking in my direction for dating potential. But here's the thing. I'm not looking in Mrs. Spears' direction either. No offense, if Britney Spears, if you secretly have a major crush on me, I'm very, very sorry to break your heart. But that's kind of the thing. Like women in America and myself, we naturally repel each other. And guys say like, oh, he couldn't get girls in his own country, so he had to go overseas. He couldn't get girls in his own country. All right, let's say I was the desirable guy that they want. Let's say I was a 25-year-old gorgeous black millionaire who owned a yacht in Miami. Exactly the prototype of man that every single girl is looking for in Miami. And I had these girls on my yachts, and I could damn near just pick whichever one I wanted to because they're in my frame, they're on my yacht, they know I got money, I have the look they want, I have the melanin that they want, the height they want, the face they want, the body, everything. At the end of the day, I'm just another schmuck with a yacht. I'm just, Sunday fun day yacht. They have a bajillion promoters and rich guys in their DMs inviting them on yachts. I'm not special to them. And even if I was, you're talking about a girl that's influenced by Western culture, that's born and bred to think like it's okay to be a hoe, it's okay to expose your body on the internet, it's okay to be super promiscuous, it's okay to be super, super masculine, it's okay to be disrespectful and trash men, it's okay to have comically high standards. Like here's the thing with one of the biggest differences with dating American women, and again, one reason why we repel each other, is that and in a lot of places on the planet, people kind of tend to date across, right? A woman who is a 5 will seek out and date another average looking guy. A woman who's a 6, a little bit above average, will tend to kind of date around with guys that are on her level, a little bit above average. Because feminism has this generalized hatred of men, which in and of itself, and aside from that, also teaches comically high standards for women to have. You get girls that in the U.S. want to date about 2 or 3 points above what they objectively are. And there's very few exceptions to this. The exceptions to this would be the foreign women that are new in America, the FOBs, the fresh off the boat girls. But a girl that's a 5 wants to date like an 8. And a girl that is an 8 wants to date like an 11. Like a girl that's an 8, especially in Los Angeles, New York, Miami, is truly holding out for an athlete, a professional athlete, a celebrity, an actor, one of these guys. So aside from the fact that they have comically high standards and they are difficult to get, look, I've changed my location. I've gone on Hinge or something like that when I go back and visit. And, I can match with some, decent girls here and there. But the level of physical beauty that I'm used to here now, I'm in Manaus, Brazil. And I'm going to put my full thoughts about this. Subscribe to the channel if you want to know about my thoughts on Brazil. I'm also going to be traveling to a lot of places. I'm going to give my thoughts on Kenya, like white boy in Africa going there. Going all around, South America and stuff like that. But stick on the topic of Manaus. The dating here is so fucking easy for a foreigner. And it's kind of like, who's right? Whose objective reality is right? The person who says like, you're cheating, like you put Game Genie in the video game and you're playing the game on easy mode by going to Manaus, Brazil, where you're talking to girls that have met 2 foreigners their entire life and they look at you like, oh, you're from the country where like Jurassic Park was made and Disneyland is at, and Marvel, like you come from like this like moon society of like the beautiful, tall, like rich, famous people, and oh, you speak English and this and that, and I have blue eyes and a red beard, and like, oh, I'm so different to them. Actually, I'm here with my good friend Austin Holloman. Shout out to him. He's black and he's crushing it too. So it's not just about being white, but the point being, am I like cheating? Am I playing the game on easy mode, or is this dating how it should be? And America is like fucked up. It's like, what's the norm? People in America think, well, this is the norm, and where you go is easy. No, maybe where I'm at is the norm, and where you go is the hard. Now, if I was to go on Hinge or some dating app or cold approach women in America, I could eventually get similar results to how I get now. Probably, if I'm to be perfectly honest, they probably wouldn't be quite as hot, because I'm legit dating some true 8s and 8.5s out here. I wouldn't say I have any girls that are like true 9s or 10s out here, but I have dated true 9s and 10s in the past. And I would probably cap out around the 7.75 to maybe I can occasionally get the odd 8. And, not to be an arrogant bastard, but what I call an 8 is what 99% of the free world would call a perfect 10. I'm extremely strict on this. Some of you guys on the internet are strict now too. I get it. It would just take a lot more time for me to replicate that in America, right? Like I said, I could get a 7.75, but instead of me getting like in Manaus, it's just crazy, dude. Like I could walk into a shopping mall here, cold approach. And by the way, I'm doing a lot of cold approach again. I'm going to do a video where I admit that I was kind of wrong, where I said cold approach is outdated and you don't get hot girls. In very, very competitive markets, online is better. But in, quote unquote easy, or maybe I should say normal dating markets, that aren't super big cities, aren't super competitive, like Sao Paulo, Los Angeles, maybe, I don't know, Bangkok is competitive now. I don't know, I haven't been to Bangkok in a while, but I imagine it's gotten pretty competitive because all the rich foreigners and rich guys going there. But point being is like, sure, in an afternoon in Manaus, I could get 5 strong leads. Like I could legitimately like fill my calendar with dates. Could I do that in America and Miami? No. So I could get the same results, it would take a longer time, but again, it's a mutual thing. I don't want the American girls, even if I could get them, even if it was just as easy. I don't want to date masculine women. I don't want to date a combative, nagging woman who, this will piss a lot of people off. Well, no women watch my channel, but the 2 women who watch my channel, a woman who quote unquote knows her place. And by that, I mean is to be respected and loved and treated like a princess by her man and just treated like a goddess like her man. But she is the support system. The man is the leader. That is the role of the woman. She is to be protected and provided for and treated like a princess and respected at all times. She's not the property of the man, but at the end of the day, she is submissive to the man. The man is the leader. He should be a respectful leader and treat her extremely well. But at the end of the day, the man puts his foot down. The man is leader. Women don't know their role in the West. So coming over here, it's just better, guys. It's just better. This is, again, I don't necessarily think that dating in America is like the norm and here is like easy mode. I think this is like attractive men who are in shape, who look pretty good, who have some sense of style, who have a little bit of muscle mass and have like a lot of charisma and a lot of game and a lot of confidence, can be flirty, funny, and witty to women when they just, walk up to them, get them laughing. That should count for something like that. Most women should give you a shot. They should, you should get on their radar. You should do that. And that is how it is here. And that's why I'm saying, for most of you guys, your only bet to get an attractive woman is to probably do the same thing that I did and leave the United States. I hate to say it, it just depends how important physical beauty is to you. Depends where you stand in terms of your genetics, like your facial structure, your bone structure. Depends what ethnicity you are. We all know certain ethnicities are highly, highly desired in the US right now, like black guys and Latino guys. We all know certain ethnicities are falling, like their stock is falling quickly, like white guys. And we know that there's ethnicities that women unfortunately just have a lot of reservations on, and they just, these poor guys just through no fault of their own just have a really like a lot more difficult time in their dating market, which would be Asian and especially Indian men. So just to summarize the video, it's not that I per se can't get women in America, which it's kind of true. Like it's way, 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 way harder. Like I'll be at the Fresh and Fit studio sometimes when I visit these guys, and I'm like, well, you know, if some girl just throws herself at me, maybe she thinks, you know, I got status because she sees that I'm good friends with Myron and Fresh, and I've been on the show before. Maybe I would like shoot my shot, and I try to like, you know, flirt with these girls a little bit. Like it's fucking difficult. I think you know, at the end of the day, like their masculine personality ends up turning me off. But I think if I really stuck in there, I could get a few of these girls, but it would be really hard. And in the end, a lot of them would probably end up rejecting me. Some of the ones I think I could get, maybe I couldn't get. But again, it works both ways. They repel me and they turn me off, believe me. Sorry. Yeah, they turn me off a lot more than I turn them off. So if you guys want to hear more about my travels, where you should go, where you can get appreciated, and how you can have a better dating life by leaving the nutritionally undisciplined and very masculine, nagging, combative, and unsexy women of the West and travel more, then you should subscribe for more free game. Peace out, boys.